Ladies and gentlemen, we've got an ex-PHP, aka valuetainment MLM agent.
Yeah.
Again, this is a Patrick Bet David's MLM that we're talking about. People helping people. It sells, I think, insurance. We're about to learn a lot more about it.
Yeah.
What kind of episode is this, Amish? Is this a scam rehab? What is this? What is this?
I'm gonna call it a scam rehab. I like the name scam rehab. Let's see if he's been scammed even.
Sam, how are you doing today?
How you doing, buddy?
Let's talk about this, fellas. By the way, great show that we're already having so far. I love the H3 topic. But let's go ahead and talk about PHP. I mean, I have a couple of things that I'd like to talk about, but if you guys want to start with any questions, we can do that.
I think my first question would be like, what's their sales pitch that got you in? That said, I gotta work for Mr. PBD. Patrick Bet David.
Okay. So I was 19 years old, and it was in January of 2020. And I had just left college. I was like, screw this, I'm going to go do sales.
Wow.
And then I got invited to one of these little parties that, those companies have, right?
Yeah.
The little BS parties. And I go there, and I didn't get recruited on the spot because they told me that it would be $200 just to get started with the company. And I was like, I've never heard of that before. This is obviously a pyramid scheme, right? So I came back the next day, and I basically talked to one of the brokers, and they convinced me to get started. But what they didn't clarify before I got started, you had a question?
What did they say to get you convinced to start?
Yeah. And real quick, you're 20 at this point?
I'm 20 years old, yeah. And so what they told me to get started, they basically give everybody the same presentation when they recruit somebody. And what they tell you is basically the 4 different tiers of income that you can make within PHP. And then, there's more tiers, but they only show you 4. And then they really over-exaggerate like what the income is at those different levels. Like they lead you to believe that once you get to level 4, you're definitely going to be making $1 million a year. But I know a guy, one of the biggest guy in my office actually, who got recruited, and he was in the company 10 years before he made $1 million. He was in the 4th tier for probably like 4 years before he made $1 million. And so they grossly over-exaggerated. But
he hit $1 million. He's saying he hit $1 million.
Okay, Amish, you're a little apologist. You're like, but he hit. They lied, but he hit $1 million though, didn't he?
So $200 fee, and then you can make $1 million for this.
Well, let me clarify something too. They could have more millionaires, but they give really low commissions, like compared to anybody else in the industry, but not compared to WFG. So Patrick actually got started in WFG, and he was one of the top reps. And so at that point he left and he started PHP in like 2010 or 2009.
So he was like, he goes, this is a scam. They're not paying me enough because I'm not at the top. Let me go get at the top.
Dude, so he created a new company.
Hold on, I'm going to need you to center yourself on the webcam. You're like on the far left right-hand corner of the webcam here. That doesn't make any sense. But anyways, go ahead.
If you keep a light in front too.
Amish,
dying right now. Sorry.
You're a fine one to talk. You're glitching out every 3 seconds.
Oops. So
there we go.
So Patrick left WFG, and then he created PHP, and he structured it the same, except he made the commission structure just a little bit higher than WFG. So basically at that point, everybody from WFG came to PHP. And people who are joining people who are joining WFG now and building these huge pyramids are then getting recruited by PHP, and they're going over. So people are recruiting other people's whole pyramids too. So
you're like, they're transplanting the pyramids from like Egypt to Gaza. I mean, they're just moving it, right? That's basically what's going on.
That's basically how it works. So, I mean, if you're looking to get into life insurance and you just want to go like straight sales, you should not go with a company like PHP. Don't go with an MLM structure because they give low commission. When you start with PHP, they'll start you at like a 30% commission, and then the average commission in life insurance industry is 85 to 100%.
Woo!
And their brokers only make 75%. Brokers should be making at least 6 figures, and they're making only 75% contract. That's pretty ridiculous.
So they're getting underpaid, you're saying, allegedly, but you're also saying that it's kind of with the expectation of getting the future bag if you recruit enough people. And
Right.
but you're saying they exaggerate that too.
Well, the thing about recruiting is, man, it's so bad to mix recruiting in with life insurance sales, because it eventually the company becomes more about recruiting. And the bad thing about that is that more people are getting recruited, right? But if you don't have people getting licensed, then they're not going to make any money. And like maybe only 1 in like 100 people actually gets licensed. That's the thing. You can't sell life insurance if you don't get licensed. So most people quit like an hour after they start, honestly.
Right. But PHP can't be held responsible for people not getting licensed, though, right? Or are they still taking a fee?
Well, okay, so you're talking about whether they charge to get licensed, PHP?
Yeah.
Well, they do provide free training material. So, I mean, it's definitely not on the person, or it's on the person if they don't get licensed.
Yeah.
But there is extra cost associated with getting licensed. Like, it's an extra $500. So if you don't have almost $1,000 to put down whenever you get started, then you're probably not going to make any money.
Wait, what's the so the 500 for the licensing?
Right, 500 licensing, and then a 200 just to get contracted with PHP, which is BS. And
you pay to get contracted with PHP. That's not like most jobs. You don't pay up front.
No, you actually pay to get contracted with PHP, and their justification for it is that you get access to their format. But ever since I left PHP, I went with another company. All these companies have their own format, and some charge. It's just BS whenever the people actually charge for it. So,
sorry, my co-host is having an absolute tantrum here.
I'm like, what's going on with?
I heard him. He's just saying, I'm sorry. I'm absolutely sorry. I can't be bothered. With this.
But if you're somebody who's like looking to maybe go actually in the recruiting route, then maybe PHP would be right for you. But just know that like you're definitely going to lose all your friends.
Right. Well, that's a horrible thing to say. I mean, then nobody should do it. Listen,
right. I mean,
you don't want to be part of the NFL. You know about the NFL.
You want to clarify that for me?
The No Friends Left Club?
Oh, that's right. The No Friends
Everybody in MLM enters the NFL because they pitch to their friends, they pitch to their family members, and they eventually nobody wants to talk to them anymore because they're just toxic. So
it's pretty disgusting in PHP too. Like if you're not pitching somebody on recruiting, you're pitching them on life insurance. But it's always like priority to recruit them first. They actually make you feel selfish if you don't recruit. They tell you that you're selfish if you don't recruit.
Wait, how are you selfish?
Because they're saying, why wouldn't you share this opportunity to make millions of dollars? Right? It's bullshit. But when you're sitting in an office,
but people aren't making millions of dollars though.
Okay, so
a few of them are.
Maybe like 8 of them are like making $1 million in 10 years, which is like, that's really not great compared to other insurance companies.
Okay, so a few of like a handful are. What's everyone else making?
People who are licensed?
Yeah, okay. So let's say you go to PHP. They say $1,000, you're going to get licensed. $500 is for that. $200 you pay for us, which is crazy. But then you're going to take the training, whatever, you go get the license. All right. I think that's $700, but anyway, somehow $1,000. I don't know why.
Well, okay, so here there's also extra costs associated that I haven't gotten to.
Okay.
So whenever I got started in January of 2020, we had a regional event in San Antonio. It was free, and it was basically like the warm up to the national event that was going to happen in summer of 2020, which you have to pay to go to. And a ticket cost $250. So we were at this regional San Antonio event, and they basically got us all in a room. And they told us whoever brings the biggest team to the national event is going to make the most money. So you need to buy tickets for your whole team. You need to buy a 10-pack right now.
That's ridiculous.
People pulled out their credit cards. I'm not even lying. People who just got started like me and bought a freaking 10-pack. Let me tell you, I was trying to get approved for lines of credit to actually get a 10-pack, but I didn't get approved. I only bought my own ticket.
You tried to get approved for a line of credit for Patrick Bet David's pitch about something about you need to bring 1,000 friends. That's so stupid.
Well,
that's like
Patrick wasn't there. It was the regional leader.
It's his company. It's his company.
Yeah, it's his company.
So he can take accountability for what his company does.
Okay. Sure.
So let me get this straight. Patrick Bet David's company is telling people buy a bunch of tickets that aren't for you because you need to bring the biggest team. So get a line of credit. You're trying to get lines of credit to buy tickets for money you haven't made. This is so messed up.
It's pretty ridiculous, and they even try to pitch you on, okay, you're gonna buy them, and, then
And
you're
by
gonna
the way, if
sell
it's a
them back to your
moneymaker for
team.
the company, they would offer that for free, wouldn't they? Those tickets. Why would they sell you tickets if they're going to make money from you selling those tickets?
Okay, so no, they're selling you the ticket, and then once that happens, like it's your ticket, you can choose to change the ownership if you want.
No. Let me repeat myself again.
Okay, go ahead.
They're making money from you bringing people because that's going to be more recruitment for PHP. So
I mean,
why
that's
doesn't
fair.
PHP offer the tickets for free?
Because I mean, they honestly, the way that they phrase it whenever you're there is you have to put some sort of investment in, or else you won't actually go with it. Right?
rich. That's
Yeah.
very rich.
Yeah. So people, but listen, I haven't even gotten to the worst part. So people were buying these 10 packs of tickets, right? And I only bought my ticket. And then I find out a few months later that the event in Las Vegas got canceled. Why? Because of COVID. And I tried to get my money back, and they would not give me my money back. So I don't know what happened to those people who bought 10 packs, but I can only say I didn't get my money back.
10 packs, $2,500, right?
Right.
Woo! Patrick. Somebody's been a bad boy. Hey, Patrick, that's not right. It's not fair. It's not right. Sorry, let me make myself big. I don't like the. I'm feeling very intimidated by your size over here. Let me get. Because Amish apparently decided he doesn't want to come back, so I've got to make myself proportional here. Sorry about that. Now we're good.
It's all good. So I mean,
So Patrick doesn't give you your refund for these tickets for the thing that was canceled. Correct?
correct.
Probably.
So
I mean, I'm sure he bought some nice lights for the valuetainment studio with that. I'm sure of it.
he just got a new studio. Actually, they
Sexy.
just got a new studio in
Man's
Florida.
got a sexy podcast.
And so it's a good podcast, by the way, but he's trying to actually distance himself from PHP now. So it's
And
a
I think
bad
that-
look for him.
It's a smart move because PHP is such a bad luck, because MLMs are a bad luck for anybody, because it always does turn into this you pay to play, like you pay to work. That's the MLM genius. They figured out people are so desperate for the dream, we'll promise them the dream and make them work for it. Like make them pay to work. They'll work and they'll pay us to work. So, okay, so you pay $250. You try to get approved for a line of credit. You can't. Now what?
Well, at that point, yeah, I just got my ticket,
Here he
and that
is.
was pretty much, Amish, are you good, bro? What happened? Okay, so I was trying to get approved for that line
Amish
of
is all
credit.
messed up right now. Amish, get in here. You know you can amuse
Hey.
yourself, right?
Very PBD. You're being very PBD right now.
Well,
by the
how am
way.
I being PPD?
You're being enlarging yourself. Very PBD. But my internet's unstable though, so it's fine. This is a great interview though. I love it. I'm watching all of this. It's so good, dude. I
You're
have
watching
questions.
it. You should be doing it, Amish.
I'm watching it. No, that is doing it. Is listening. I'm listening.
Okay,
This is
go
great
ahead.
so far.
Go ahead.
The worst part so far, I gotta say though, is no PBD. I'm very upset. Like, okay, you lost $200 or whatever, 10 pack. Thank God for the credit card, but no PBD. I'm upset.
Dude,
But-
they turned it into a Zoom event. Like they had the event completely online. It was pretty sad.
Goofy.
Oh my God.
Dude. So they have like big celebrities at these events, right? And they're like, "Oh my gosh, this event's gonna be crazy. You don't even know who's gonna be there." It was Pitbull.
It's always Pitbull. Pitbull does all.
Oh yes.
Pitbull does it, and now Kevin Hart's getting into it.
Pitbull
and I
will do
think-
anything. If you give Pitbull $10,000, he'll show up at your grandma's funeral. Swear. That's a real thing. He'll play Fireball. They'll be lowering your grandmother into the ground, and then at the drop, when the casket hits Earth, it's gonna be like Fireball. That's what it is, dude.
He headlines the Wealth Expo. every
Pitbull
year in
headlines
Toronto.
everything. He headlines
all the
everything.
scam, all the con artists.
Yeah.
He's the go-to.
Dude, and I mean, they just announced they actually just had another event, and Tim Tebow was there too. So Tim Tebow is now actually
God is
getting
great,
into it. Hey,
and God is great.
hey, college goat. But yeah, it's honestly a really bad look for Patrick, and he's trying to distance himself because
Yeah.
if you want some insider information, I might get in trouble for this. But what I'm going to tell you is that Patrick is probably going to sell the company soon. And when I heard that, it was in early 2020. So, of course, that got delayed a little bit because of COVID. He had to stick around and he had to be like, basically the head of the company.
Yeah.
But now he appointed the person who makes the most money in the company, the guy with the biggest pyramid, essentially, to an actual like chief distribution officer position. So it's going to be his job to look out for that. And Patrick, I think he's going to be selling the majority of his shares pretty soon.
Hey,
The valuetainment is like
do you know
this.
what I-
It
do you know
goes
what I'm
up
doing?
and he quits.
You know what I'm doing?
You're laundering your hand.
I'm laundering my reputation right now.
You're laundering the
I'm
reputation.
saying, hey, I make all this money. Now, I'm not associated. MLM, never heard of it.
Never heard of
PHP, what's PHP? People helping people? Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
When
A
they talk
valuetainment, I
about
give
it-
value.
Dude, when they talk about it on valuetainment, they refer to it as, oh, I have a financial firm. I have a
I have a financial
Financial
services
service.
company. It's a financial services company.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So
Yeah.
you didn't get to any, you didn't get to go to any, you didn't get to see the PBD. No.
Well, he came actually. Okay, so
Yeah,
we were at the regional event in San Antonio, and so on the first day, the whole ticket fiasco happened, and then the second day, we had a few guest speakers there. Phil Heath was there. I don't know if you guys know that guy. He's like 7-time Mr. Olympia, big
Oh, yeah.
swole.
Oh, yeah.
Phil
Yeah.
Heath, okay.
Well, he was there, and he was in like a really tight suit. It was kind of weird. But and then Patrick Bet David actually did eventually come, and dude, it's so weird. Okay, so people refer to MLMs as like cultish, right? But let me tell you, whenever Patrick walks in the room, everybody quiet, everybody staring at him. Dude, inside of the company, Patrick is a god. I'm not even kidding. Patrick is
Outside the company, he's a god. That's the crazy thing. The
Does
laundering is good.
Do Amish? He's got a little Patrick shrine in his room.
I do love PBD. I watch a lot of PBD.
And every
but in
day,
India,
every
obsessed.
day, he makes his prayer. He goes, is it Trump, liberals, or the media? And don't say Trump.
He goes, Baba, every day, dude, we went to India and they all said, Babaji, 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 teach me Babaji, 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 how can I be abundant? Babaji, Babaji. It was like that, dude. He was like one of those spiritual leaders in India. They loved it. In the church of money.
Okay,
sorry,
so go ahead. So he's walking on clouds in the company.
Water. Yeah, yeah.
So he just got up there on the stage, and I mean, if you've never seen PBD speak in person, I mean, it's just completely different. Like just the energy that he fills you with. Hey,
Dude,
So,
this guy's like 2 seconds away from going back. He's
Dude,
like,
okay.
hey Sam,
I-
no hate, but you're kind of like, yeah, everyone else sees him as a god, but like honestly,
Yeah.
if you've seen him talk, like,
well,
I'm saying,
listen,
I'm like, hey, when's the
about
next
to-
event?
I'm about to
When's the
join
next
up.
event? When's the next event? We're doing in a month. I want in person though. I don't need this Zoom shit. I
Sam's
want
like,
in-person
hey,
PBD.
if my credit card hadn't declined me, I'd still be in there, still be in the game, baby.
dude,
Thank
no,
God for
I
that
honestly,
credit card. Thank God.
probably still would have been in there, bro. Like if I dropped
Yeah.
2,500, dude.
True, the
But
investment, because you invested more, so emotionally you'll be invested to them. Maybe that's what they all teach, right?
That's what they teach. That's why you stick with it. And so I brought like 3 people to the San Antonio event.
Oh God,
Like
yeah.
3 people who just didn't even know anything about it.
Please tell me.
And So only one of them ended up getting recruited.
Okay.
But, I mean, he didn't make any money. But
He's out now.
Shocker.
Right.
He's-
So,
he's-
but one of the people I recruited actually ended up making more money than me in the company. They got licensed, and they actually sold a lot of life insurance. But because I recruited them, I actually got override on all the sales that they made.
You still get
So-
money. You still getting checks?
Dude, no, actually, okay. So the reason I'm not with PHP anymore is because in April of 2020, I went silent on them because I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I went
Yeah.
silent on them, and then they tried to accuse me of joining another company and trying to recruit PHP agents, which was bullshit. So they basically
Be
got
honest,
rid of
did you
my
do
contract.
it? Did you do
No,
it?
dude. No, hell no, dude. I was actually going silent on PHP because I wasn't sure about it. So
Well, it sounds like they want to cut your commissions, so they make up an excuse. So instead of because if you say you're silent, they have to pay you for the rest of your life. But if they say, "Weren't you trying to recruit? We do have evidence of recruitment. You've made it."
whenever they cut me out, all the overrides from the people I recruited go to the next person up. So
It's like Patrick,
Your
but
buddy.
David. It's like Patrick.
they
I mean,
just go up.
it all goes eventually to Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the pyramid goes up, but then there's one like side loop. It's like, oh, they quit.
So
That'd be-
PHP, is it a scam?
Is it a scam? Well, if we're looking at it from a legal perspective, then obviously no, it's not a pyramid scheme or anything like that.
Fine.
But from a moral perspective,
In the eyes of God.
in the eyes of God, in the eyes of Vishnu, I would say yeah, it's a scam.
It is.
You shouldn't do it.
They won't admit it. They will never admit it.
They won't.
When you're inside the company, and especially inside these group chats, It's
Yeah.
just they're all like sucking each other off, and it's
Whoa,
Dude.
whoa. Keep it PG, bud.
well, hey, I
man.
was part of it too. Hey, but
Hey man, if PBD was there, I'd start sucking. Okay, I'll tell you
my
that. I'll tell you, I'm sucking. If he said, I'd be like, okay, dude, he's very authoritative. He's very authoritative. I'd probably just listen to him.
You hear PHP ever walk into a room? You hear that?
dude,
Yeah, no, he is tight. But I gotta say, even Marco's interview with Castro, the guy won't admit. They just won't admit that it's a scam or it's hurting anyone. It's just like, yeah, I'm making money and it's fine. Like they just find what's the excuses? I mean, they actually go on the offensive on you. They say, hey, you're not recruiting fast enough. Why are you selfish? I love that. So
Yeah.
is that a whole class or is that like a 5-minute thing? Like, what is that? Is that one of the classes?
what do you mean one of the classes? Like
They do seem to have a curriculum, you know, and I've been saying this on the show for a while that like the sales curriculum and the cult curriculum and the MLM curriculum, it's all like the classes, they all have the one curriculum underneath. They have this, even all these sales guys, 1 week is like spiritual week. They call it mindset week. But if they're teaching you like online sales or whatever, they have the second, even Sam Ovens, second week, spiritual mindset week. What's PBD's? Did PBD do a lot of that? Because his channel does that. His channel does like, it's very motivational. I love it. So his inside motivationals, are they tight? What do you got?
so within PHP, there's actually a book club, and Patrick picks the book every single month that everybody's supposed to read. And at one point, we were actually given a quiz over the book. At like we had this personal event called PHP University, and you have to qualify to get into this event. You had to recruit like 3 people and sell like 3 life insurance policies in a month.
Of course,
So,
not letting any hoo-has in. You think they let the hoo-has in?
Dude, you had to be making money to get in.
Yeah.
PBD's gonna be there.
Making
hell no.
checks, making bets.
So
Gotta
we
do
had
it.
PHP University, and basically that was where they indoctrinated us.
Well, what do you read? I mean, it's not a bad thing to read, though. I'm not a fan of Patrick Bet-David, but you can't be like he's made us read. I'm not going to be
Well,
upset about
I
that.
think what it
okay,
is
so
is
that's
that
not a
he
bad
wants you to
thing.
have that mindset.
What did
That's
he make you read? I mean, is it like the Capitalist Manifesto, or what is it? I feel like
Yeah, like
Cap- Capitalist
it's Think and Grow Rich, isn't it? It's
Think
like,
and Grow Rich and shit like
it's
that.
like Think
There's
and Grow
no
Rich,
mind comp
Robert
on there.
Kiyosaki.
By the way, I actually like Think and Grow Rich. I think it's a good book.
Bro, the
But-
guy's
Yeah.
a con man, but that's fine. It's fine. You can like it. You can
I
get
might
things
have to
out
do
of
a
it. Out of
debunk
it.
on that.
The guy's a complete con man.
Hey, I've
Yeah,
been thinking about doing a
supposedly he
debunk
never
on that
met.
video.
Supposedly
So-
he never met whatever the dude's name was, Carnegie.
Carnegie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Henry Ford and Theodore Roosevelt. You know, I mean, well, he has all the letters from them. Actually, he's got total proof, but they were
Classic
in
move.
his house and it burned down in a fire. Terrible tragedy.
Oh,
He's
It
like a
was
Lutheran.
all
It's just
there,
like
though.
Steve-
I
Steve
swear it
Lutheran.
was all there.
He was wrong.
All the things you were rich, it's all there. Listen, it's fine.
Yeah.
He
That's so
started it
sad.
all.
If you
You
look
think
at
no?
it,
It goes before him though. There's other ones. He's a classic though. He blew up in that game of sociopaths. You know?
yeah.
Sociopath.
I'm a scammer. I'm a scammer. Gonna rip you off, take you down.